We back with another one. Shit, that shit cold, bro. We back with another one. L-TIDO Podcast. We got a crazy episode today. We got a man that's got the #1 song in the motherfucking continent. A man that's legendary. That's been doing it for years. He's my homie. We go way back, like LeBron's hairline. But my hairline is good. You see my hairline, baby. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. You guessed it, man. We got Mr. CASHTIME. We only bring the A-listers on the show. We're about to have another crazy one. So yeah, man. Mr. CASHTIME, L-TIDO Podcast.
Trust me.
Yo,
That's a perfect name for you. That's a perfect name for you niggas. Back outside, boys.
Back outside,
Yeah,
boys.
man.
My platinum plex landing tomorrow. Off the John, so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the L-TIDO Podcast. Ironically, the man next to me advised me to label the show the L-TIDO Podcast. It's not debatable. He's a legend. He's been doing this for 17 years. Some of you guys were still wet behind the ear. Some of you guys didn't have game to back up a bad bitch. And 17 years later, you still can't back up a bad bitch. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to the man, the legend, the myth, Mr. CASHTIME KO. Make some noise! What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
That's it, you might know.
I'm all good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We back again.
You already know.
I want to give you guys context. You guys might know KO as a dope rapper, as a legend or whatever, but there's something that maybe you guys might not know. KO is a real one. You're a real nigga. I just need to, you know what I'm saying, give you your flowers. Because a lot of people don't understand. This is the second time we shoot an episode, right?
They
We
don't
shot
even have to know about that.
Nah, I want them to know. We shot our first episode, and unfortunately, we got fucked up by bad sound, and we had to come back and do this for the second time. But while we shot the first episode, KO said something interesting to me. I was like, okay, we have to shoot the second episode, but I don't want to ask him the same questions I asked him for the first time. He said something at the end of the episode, you know, that just gave me ideas. I think let's display what KO said on the last episode.
In the cool nigga business, you understand me? So if I know by making a certain move, I'm gonna eat. Like niggas can be angry at niggas like Cass or like Reason, fact that they jump on on piano records. Dog, that's them niggas' prerogative. If that shit can help a nigga put food on the table, come on, dog. You a hating ass nigga. If you're gonna go and say some fuck shit about a nigga trying to feed his family, what is this nigga supposed to do? Like, supposed to sit in the corner and beg, and then you're the same fucking people, they're gonna be sitting there talking about, oh shit, you seen Reason in the corner begging for money, like begging for loose change? Come on, dog. Like, just have some type of backbone in you to say, shit, I salute that man because he's about his business and he's trying to take care of family. That's all this shit is about. All that other bullshit is for the fucking Chinan song is not hip hop. SETE is not hip hop. Well, guess what? Are you entertained? Are you entertained? Thank you.
Real ones stay real.
I can't wait to come back on this shit, like just to talk about other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like me and this nigga, we've ravaged the streets. I mean, we can talk about other things. You know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean?
Hey. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, bro.
So, I mean, I figured hey, you know what I'm saying? My nigga.
Don't try. Are you trying to turn me into an earth guide, my guy?
Nah, I got you.
I ain't with that.
I got you. Nah, we ain't going that far, but I know where we going.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
No names are gonna be said.
Yes, sir.
But I figured that streets are dirty. You know, we need to have a little bit of a conversation about it. You know, you're a very discreet guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't know about your relationships. I think I'm the same guy too in terms of like being discreet. I've never seen you post a girl except one girl. You know, is there a reason why you're discreet when it comes to your relationships?
People can't ruin shit they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. You feel me? So I don't need to post a lot of the shit that is like personal to me. You know what I mean? Because I just want to protect my energy. I'm a rapper. You're gonna know about these raps, and you're gonna know about these records that I'm putting out. You don't have to know who I like, where I lay my head, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's none of your fucking business.
Niggas don't like wearing that tag OG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we are OGs in a way, and I feel like some of our
nigga,
experiences.
I'm these niggas OG. I'm these
definitely.
niggas daddy. You heard me? I'm these niggas daddy, big dog. Nah, just fucking around.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm looking at social media right now, and I'm seeing, talking about the streets, there's a lot of pressure on males. I'm seeing niggas doing stupid shit like going to ball in the club on credit.
Yeah.
We saw what happened with at Saint. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like, niggas, it's all for women.
Let me find out Alicia got some niggas with an open tab right now in this club too. That need, you know what I mean? They need to take care of some bills.
That's crazy to me. Like,
Yeah, that's the type of life. Like, unfortunately, social media and all this bullshit, like, you know, the materialistic lifestyle that niggas are chasing, and you know what I mean? It's a lot of capping, and you know, like, I think that's the culture that we live in. Like, and it's not only just the homies, you know, the girls too, and all the and it's just social media pressure or whatever else, you know, because. To me, bro, like, I've just always been the type of guy who is, like, very content, you know, in my own skin. I don't need validation from, like, anything out there that I cannot even afford, for that matter. You know what I mean? So if I need to go into Zara and cop me, like, a nice top and a nice little college jacket, I'll wear that shit with pride. Because that's what I can afford, you know, and I'm going to walk the streets and still, you know what I mean? If I need to, you know what I mean, snatch your bitch, I'll do that in my Zara. You understand me? So it's a level of confidence, you know, that supersedes all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I think some niggas are still caught up in that.
I think us as males, we are having a lot of issues at the moment. I think a lot of men have lost their place in this world in terms of, like, who they are, what they need to be. You know, and I think that, like, majority of men are emasculated right now. You know, even on social media.
Do you fuck with Andrew Tate?
That's you're trying to get me cancelled.
No, it's not even. It's just a yes or a no. Like, I'm not talking about, like, do you subscribe to everything?
Yeah.
I mean, that man, just like every individual, there are some shit that you can take, that you can pull from him, and obviously, like, you can use your own, you know, buffer about certain things.
I believe I fuck with Andrew Tate on certain things that he says, which is real. Obviously, some other things I don't agree with him, you know. Let's get to the music, man.
Yes, sir.
You have the biggest record in the country, in Africa, at the moment. This is coming after a decade of being in the game. How do you feel, like, to hit it out the park now, at this stage of the game?
Dog. Yeah, I think I'm jaded, you know. I'm, like, obviously, like, just out the gate, honored, humbled, grateful, all that stuff. I thank God. Cool. That's obviously, I just want to precurse, you know, what I'm about to say with that. But for the most part, dog, like, I'm not even conscious of what's going on right now. Like, not because I'm oblivious, but because I'm jaded, bro. Like, I got PTSD from, like, bullshit. Like, I mean, just before we started the conversation, we were talking about how in our culture it's easy for someone to just put an expiration date on you. You know what I mean? Like, all right, now this thing is finished. So when you have a moment, after having dealt with bullshit like that, you know, you kind of enjoy it, like with a chip on your shoulder at the same time, because it's like that whole thing Jay said. You know what I mean? First they gonna love you, then they hate you, they gonna love you again. So like I've seen motherfuckers love me, I've seen motherfuckers hate me, I'm seeing motherfuckers love me right now. You know, so even with all that being said, all I can say is just like I'm more like I know better. You know what I mean? For me to just sit here and just grow a big head on some dumb shit and, you know, start acting out. Yeah, I got the biggest record in the country. Fuck y'all niggas type. And I'm not even on that type of time because a couple weeks, couple months from now, that record is gonna be old. You know what I mean? But the one thing that remains is the fact that my trajectory is unfuckwittable, you know. Like you're saying, over a decade in the game, I'm almost approaching 2 decades now, like 17 years. It's an honor, and you know, as much as it's the culture, as much as you're seeing such a monumental moment right now with this record, give it a couple months, you're gonna see niggas talking some fuck shit again about me, you know. So it's almost like I don't want to get too caught up in just, you know, like, oh yeah, shitting on niggas now because I got this #1 record or whatever. You know, I mean, I feel good, but I feel good within me. That's all that matters. But I'm just saying, I can't really like now like start acting out just based off the success of this record and the album is doing so well, you know. But I am grateful. That's the first thing that I wanted to say. I'm grateful, and I thank God that I'm still here.
Obviously, that's never been your personality to shit on niggas when you're at the top. But I also feel it's very important to also live in that moment. You know, I know you are grateful, but I don't want you to feel jaded. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to feel like, okay.
Be my therapist, my nigga. Like, talk to me.
I want you. Nah, on the real, like, bro, like, obviously there's a blessing, you know that. But while you're in that moment, that's what a lot of people do. When they're in that moment, they don't actually embrace the moment. It's just like that type of shit that you don't know what you got till it's gone type of shit. Yeah. But when you're in that moment, a lot of people don't cherish the moments. You know what I'm saying? And I know you've done it so many times. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but being jaded, there's a lot of shit that I want you to feel, bro.
Yeah, like, I mean, I got you. Yeah. I mean, by me saying that at the same time, this is just on a social level, you know what I mean? Like, I am on the social, like, as far as, like, when these cameras are on, I'm one individual. Actually, let me not even lie. My energy on and off the camera, especially about the current moment. I mean, even with the niggas around me, they're probably even more excited than me, you know, about this situation. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because also at the same time, as much as that might be like my way of like my practice emotionally and psychologically, not to live in the moment, it's also not on a basis of me just trying to avoid what is happening in real time. It's because this moment, I worked on this moment for years, my nigga.
Definitely.
Do you understand me? So when the moment actually comes in real time for everyone else to catch up and be like, oh shit, this nigga did that, I'm already working on the next one.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? So it's hard for me to like really sit there and be like, yeah, so like, you know what I mean? Because it's gonna really fuck me up when I have to recalibrate and like regroup so I can make, you know what I mean? It's almost like,
I get you.
It's the same thing with sports. You understand me? As soon as y'all score a goal, or like as soon as y'all hit a bucket,
yeah,
these niggas might catch you on the counter.
Facts. But when you score the goal, you celebrate.
Yes, you celebrate, but you feel me? You still need to have energy to run the fuck back and double back to make sure that you cover, you know what I mean? Your territory. Yeah. So to me, I'm not talking about these ops and shit like that, niggas that I'm trying to, no. I'm talking about the game is moving at such a fast pace that if I get too caught up in the celebration, you know what I mean? Sliding through the motherfucking pitch, you know, on my knees, shirt off type shit, all the way in the corner kick, like, you know what I mean? Like them niggas doing the motherfucking Christopher Reeves celebration, Superman shit.
So KO is saying if he's gonna go, he'll literally take the ball and just walk back to the pitch.
Facts. Facts, nigga.
Okay. But it's not all being jaded, because I also see you out there on the net having fun. There's something that I particularly like, what you've been doing on the net. I think you started a new term. I'd say Ntate. You know?
Yeah, we're just fucking around, man.
How did that come about?
I always just find it, okay, so what people don't know about the reason why my Sutu is kind of decent is because I studied in the Vol, right? Varsity and shit like that. So, I was out there, like, liba fi tu on tola, but simani libo mang on tola.
All right. But Babangata, maybe they haven't seen what I'm talking about, Ntate. Can you give them a breakdown of the swag? You know, we talked about the swag. Kopa, break it down for them, Ntate.
Ndari skari duti mona re ka moara disco ndari sing night club re go disco o utlwisisa
Ntate
ha ke duti ke nana ndari wa mpona ke itse di cutlery ka mona ke ska o fatla ndari ke ska o fatla matlo matlapa turang ndari and then of course wa bona lo ena skanda weldi le lonyana tsa ka kwana di states ka mona di America ka kwana and then islako sena ndade o ka ska makala enandade asi all standard skanana ki chaktila enandade o dusisa ena griko wenzi
Ntate
ya griko wenzi ke ndado mong ban chenana wa para aparo tse ntsho le khoa ha mo shebile kana ka re ki Marilyn Manson ndade di brels ndade ke ska o ndade ke ska o bona fela ka hlonyana ena ba re Medusa
let me try it out. I gotta try it out. Let me take the moment, Tate. Ntate, wambona Ntate.
Ya bona Ntate.
Like di dimas Ntate. Ntate.
O go ba bontshe o ba jwetse o etsalang ka mona.
Ntate.
For ICA o ke bona ya
wa sheba skipper sa teng Ntate.
Ke bona
Ntate.
Sena le matlapanyana
ao. Asi ya bo yang tag.
Ke bona Ntate.
Sa yang tag. Ke tsotsi o mnyane.
Fela taba tsa bo screw fundade re twetse ka lesela leo Ntate.
Is Saint Laurent Ntate.
Ska ituma maleme Ntate.
O bona ka para li lela.
Ke a bona Ntate. Re tlhabile ka je ko Ntate re biste go.
Wa bona di tla ko Ntate. Asi Air Force One fela Ntate.
Exclusive.
Emanyana Ntate.
Exclusive.
Ke roka fela Ntate.
Jwa.
Mse ba Jay-Z Ntate.
Asi roka fela ya chelete ya magoa family tse golo batho ba na le chelete tse ngata ba tshwere ba rula lefatse Ntate. Re bala ka Jay-Z ka Jay-Z ke mfana monyane.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy, yo.
Had to tap into that.
That's you guys brought like I think a dope
shout out to my guy
to the social media page.
Shout out to Tulu, my guy. Yes, sir.
Tulu been
he's
with that. I'm sure people have seen it in a million interviews, the Teargas story, but I'm sure what people want to know is there any chance that you guys will ever get back together?
At this point, unfortunately, no.
Damn, that sounded so cool.
No, that's not happening.
That's
like
crazy.
I'm unfortunately that's not happening, and it's not because I don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. It's because people know my E is my Cody.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like we're still making music together. But as far as like the outfit is concerned, me and the other homie are not aligned, so you ain't never gonna see that shit happening.
I met you during the Teargas time.
Yeah.
And we made a classic record.
Yes, sir.
Called We Rolling.
Yes, sir.
I know you did like a double HP feature before that, but when we did that record, I think commercially a lot of people heard you alone and it's like, wow, this guy is a problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And of course, let me give you your flowers too. You know what I mean? You gave me my first successful or commercially successful, feature. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So shout out to you, big dog.
And you ran with it, and you did amazing. Obviously with Karakara, that changed the game completely. From the sonics, the aesthetics. I saw so many people wearing bucket hats that I never seen wearing bucket hats. The cash time movement was like super in the game. To now, I've been seeing you move different in everything that you do. Like KO has always been a guy that's not bothered easily. KO's personality is usually nonchalant.
I'm bothered. I don't wear this shit.
You don't say it publicly.
Yeah. I could be hurt over a bitch, but like I be out here like living my best life, but I be hurting and burning inside.
But lately we seeing when you hurt. People have taken shots at you before. Casper took shots at you before. You didn't rattle. You didn't move. You stayed solid. But recently, like a couple months back, a big guy that is Zulu took a shot at you.
Yeah, shout out to the homie.
And we saw a different KO come out.
Yeah.
What is the reason that you replied to Big Zulu? Did this track motivate you that enough to say, okay, cool, let me reply to this guy, or you just wanted to show out?
When I first heard it, I definitely wasn't that motivated. Like, I wasn't even triggered. I was like,
damn.
I left about it.
Are you saying this track is not that good?
No, not even that. Like, I'm not taking anything, because, look, the homie shifted the needle. That's just one thing. Like,
shout out to Big Zulu.
We can't take anything away from that. Like, he shifted the needle with that whole move that he pulled. Put himself, like, on the line of fire. Because, what if like everyone that like responded like actually just like turned that homie into like, you know what I mean, like the sacrificial lamb at the end of the day.
You feel he was not?
He's alright. So going back to the first question that you asked, like what motivated me? The homie just caught me on album mode. I was just in the studio finalizing my album SR3, and the little snippets that I heard, and I'm like, okay, cool, I could have fun with this. And I just, because my record SETE came out the same day.
If you guys are listening, by the way, KO said the little snippet that I heard. He's trying to imply he never heard the song.
I promise you, I haven't heard the full track to this day. This is not no cap or nothing. I'm not trying to make light of homie.
Like my cameraman is shaking his head behind, like.
Because here's what happened. So this nigga, the homie drops the record. Let me walk you through it.
Yeah.
The homie drops the record. Obviously, and like that day, like I said, in the morning, my record comes out. SETE comes out first thing in the morning. So it's doing. You know what I mean? It's moving already. So I'm seeing all the mentions. You know what I mean? Like the response is good. So in the midst of that, because I think later that day, because his record came out, I think around 2 or whatever, or 3, the same day.
Big Zulu's diss track dropped the same day as SETE?
Yeah. SETE came out that morning. You feel me?
It's crazy.
In yesteryears, whenever shit happens that had my name in it, and my name was being like thrown under the bus, like you were saying, KO doesn't shake. KO, you know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? It doesn't move. So I'm like, let me try something different. This was like maybe a couple hours just after the shit came out. I put out a tweet. You know what I mean? Haha emojis and shit like that. And I'm like, yo, I heard what the homie is doing and I respect it, but I'm not gonna respond. That was my tweet. So the thread under that shit starts going crazy. Yeah, of course. We knew niggas wasn't gonna pull up because niggas is pussy. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So, and then I put my phone off again. I'm back in the studio, doing my thing.
Yo, I just want to say to you guys on the internet, peer pressure is a bad thing, guys. Stop.
Anyway, so, and then before I left the studio, I think I left the studio around 8. Now the shit is ringing off in my head, like, because so the mentions, right? The mentions had either a screenshot or quoting the section that the homie mentioned me. That's all I heard. So when I say I didn't hear the record, I didn't have to hear this nigga going off about Duncan. You know what I mean? Because it had nothing to do with me. I just saw what I saw. I'm like, okay, is that the only thing the homie said about me? Oh yeah, he also said some shit about you and AKA. I'm like, okay, cool, bet. And then back in the studio. You feel me? So I saw the shit that he said, because as a battle rapper, you know this shit. For my rebuttal, I need to actually address the shit that he said. I can't just go off and be like, yeah, X, Y, Z. I need to speak on what he said. So cool, in the studio, boom, 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 finalizing whatever. And then when I left, as I was parting ways with Tulu, I'm like, yo, actually, I feel like I'm a boss back. Immediately, niggas shut that whole shit down. Nah, niggas don't know you like that. And we just dropped a fire record that's about to go crazy. Why would you want to derail that? No, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I hear you.
Like, I want to ask you a question, even though I know the answer to it. So you still haven't heard the diss track?
Nah, like I promise you. Like, look, here's another thing. Like, I've been so busy that like shit that happened. Like, I mean, the last thing that's recent that I'm listening to is obviously the Dreezy tape and 21, right? But anything outside of that, like, and I'm not even taking away anything from my homie, because we talk about this shit, me and Keenan. The first time I fully heard that record, so actually, wait, I'm lying. So before he put it out, right?
I knew by the end of this episode we'll get the truth out. Yeah.
Before he put it out, like long before I put out SETE, he sent the record to me.
Ooh.
You know, Keenan.
You sent which record?
The joint, Lemons.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He sent me the record. I'm like, oh shit, fire. I jammed it once and I hit him with a response because he said he just wanted to hear my tape. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, y'all niggas went crazy. Nasty, skating on that bitch. Right? Cool. And then now SETE comes out, and then I'm on the fucking road. Now I'm mixing my album. All this shit is happening, like, you know, in real time. And then there's this madness with the Big Zulu thing. So I had hardly had a time to listening to like other people's music. So I heard Lemons that time. And then I only heard it probably about a week ago, like fully again. You know what I mean? Yeah, I promise you.
You heard Lemons only a week ago.
Yeah, like fully. I know. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about how distracted and busy I've been since the album, since I was working on the album and since SETE came out.
Talking about you and Keenan, I just want to let everybody know, you guys are not aware, there's a new band, AKA... and KO. The band is coming out with a single real soon. I'll let him introduce you guys to the name of the band. You know?
I mean, he's fucking with you guys. But, I mean, I think it's a beautiful time. The fact that me and my homie are, like, again, neck and neck, just ransacking the streets and the charts because we feed off each other's energy, you know. So that competitive spirit, you know, is what keeps me on my toes. You know, I know he reciprocates that shit too. So, I mean, years ago we talked about, you know, putting out a tape together, a joint tape. So, I mean, of course. The recent tape that just came out, the conversation is back on again with 21 and Dreezy. And I mean, I think it's only fitting that, you know, you call us the back outside boys, right?
Hey, you're hearing it for the first time. AKA and KO.
Back outside boys.
Super duo. They call the back, hold up. The back outside boys.
Yes, sir. Nah, but that's
Like talking about that now on the real, like you niggas are really shining the light on hip hop right now.
Bless up.
There were talks for like 2 years that hip hop is dead.
Yeah.
You know, I think that narrative right now is pretty quiet.
So check this out.
Pretty quiet.
I have a hot take on that, right? I think hip hop is on the decline. This is not a South African conversation, bro. This is a universal conversation. Like, again, I talked about how I'm a student, of the game, and I study all this shit. Bro, like, when was the last time? I'm talking about, this is now in the States, cool. Yes, I say yes. I'm talking about the States. What was the last super big hip-hop record in the States? Like, in recent years? Because to me, the last biggest record in the States was probably around Scorpion and shit like that.
Nah.
God's Plan. Bro,
God's Plan.
Listen,
That's like 3 years back.
Listen
bro.
to me.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, it's everywhere. My
I
shit
also
is,
don't even want to talk about American hip hop right now.
yeah.
I want to stick to
yeah, of course.
what
Yeah,
you
I
guys
just
are
wanted to give you
doing.
context.
Yeah. I feel you. I just wanted to give you guys your flowers, like you and Keenan.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying, for actually carrying the torch and making sure we bring the light back into hip hop.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
We need to obviously get more guys putting out the records. To make sure that 2 records is not going to bring hip hop into, you know what I'm saying, full 2014
It
mode.
can. You know what I
think
mean? I think it can, because we can only be the spark that ignites.
Yeah.
You feel me? The resurgence.
Yeah.
But it also takes for the entire fraternity to participate, like, and also play like they want to win. You know what I mean? Because the unfortunate thing that we see with culture these days now is, I mean, I remember even with 2014, for it to actually even play out the way that it did, it was because people were seeing the success of like a Caracara and that formula, and then all these other records that had that sound, you know what I mean, started popping up, and now you started having all these big blockbusters, you know, happening at the same time. So when you're listening to the Keenan record and when you're listening to SETE, don't be too proud to say, oh, let me pull some shit from that. You know what I mean? Because we are actually just, we gave you niggas the wave. You know what I mean? Respectfully. So if you guys want to, like, you know, plug into that, by any means, go for it. You know what I mean? Because to me, I just want to see all of us winning, you know what I mean? And niggas, like, taking care of their families. You know, I don't give a fuck about, like, a nigga now, like, just trying to make my record or whatever. You know, if it works for him, it works for him. But I inspired someone. That's all that matters to me.
How do you feel about niggas saying your record is not hip hop? And
I don't give a fuck. You understand me? Like, fuck you. If you want to put my shit on, you want to be genre specific, I mean, good luck with that. That's your exercise you and your girl can take care of. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Because to me, I'm feeding my family. I managed to create something that allowed for Stana to come out of his comfort zone. Now you're seeing the versatility of this kid. You're like, oh shit.
He was ridiculous.
This nigga. You know what I mean? So like, to me, that counts more than some fuck ass nigga telling me that my record is hip hop. No, if you say my shit is not hip hop, I don't care. My job is done. I shifted culture. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? And we made history. We are still continuing breaking records as we speak. So it's a beautiful time. And you know, I don't want to come across as arrogant and oblivious to you know what I mean. But I'm just giving people exactly where I am right now mentally. Like, I'm comfortable in my skin, whether you love me, whether you hate me, nigga. I don't give a fuck. You understand me? Like, I'm just an individual who came out here, served his purpose, lived his life to the fucking fullest, and I'm still gonna do the same. My aim, yes, cool. Everybody wants, you know, talks about they want to be a billionaire and all that other shit. Cool. Meet you niggas there. You know what I mean? Beat me to it. You understand me? Because I'm also just as hungry as you niggas are. You know what I mean? But there's some people who talk it, and there's some motherfuckers like me that's just gonna walk this shit.
I feel you, my nigga. And I don't think it's arrogance. I think it's important. Because when you don't say your piece, when you don't speak up for yourself, a lot of people get to, like, thinking some other way. You spoke about it, banyata. You know what I'm saying? And I feel it's important for you to speak your shit.
Yeah.
And your personality hasn't been like that for a while.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people then get to underrating motherfuckers when you don't.
Yes,
and another important thing that we also need to say is like, we spoke about piano, and I know what your thoughts are. But a lot of people maybe might think like, oh, we have something against it because you are saying we're paying second fiddle or whatever to piano. I want you to actually, me and you have had private conversations about this, but I think it'd be dope to have it on a public platform. What do you feel about rappers actually getting into the piano sound?
Bro, it goes back to what I just said now. Get it how you can get it. You know what I mean? Because when it's all said and done, big dog, like this shit is all about us putting food on the fucking table. You know what I mean? Cool. There's niggas that's gonna sell their souls, and you know what I mean? There's niggas that's gonna drop the soap or whatever. You feel me? Like, for me, we gotta keep it like 1,000 because, like I said, like if you just get it how you get it. But like I think for me, if a nigga feels comfortable enough to, you know, go and dabble into the AMAPIANO thing, I'm not even too excited about rapping right now. Myself. You know what I mean? I gave you niggas like a crazy rap album, and I'm happy. I just wanted to check that bitch off. You know what I mean? And I show you niggas that like, yo, so I'm that boy. However you want to put it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna sing to your bitch right now. Like I got this SETE record. You feel me? Your girl gonna sing the shit back. You feel me? And we're gonna run these streets and get the bag. And run up these fucking streams and these numbers.
And the shit that is done, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta give you the flowers on that. I believe SETE is the first record. No, it's the fastest selling record.
Facts.
To get to gold, right?
Facts.
Platinum. And platinum.
Yeah.
The fastest selling record in history.
Facts.
Any genre.
Facts.
That is crazy.
Facts. You feel me?
I know you're on your humble shit. I know you don't talk much, you know. You don't wanna come across as a narcissist, you know? But what is the biggest record for this year, you think?
What is? Nigga, we talking about the biggest record right now. What the fuck is you talking about?
That's what I want you to talk your shit, nigga. Talk your shit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro. Like, and I'm not just saying this because I'm campaigning. But like, I mean, you know, the proof is in the pudding, big dog.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So the numbers speak for themselves. Dog, I just heard yesterday, they called me at Sony and they told me SETE is the first record to be at number 1 for 10 straight weeks on the radio monitor. What? That record was held by, I think it was Zakes, Osama.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my guy. Mm-hmm. So, but we had to drop kick the nigga with that. We just had to break the record. So shout out to my dog. Because also, like, I remember even with that moment with Osama, I'm like, shit. So Zakes, we came in together because we came in 2000, like him and El Vovo, and like, and he's got this monster right now, you know, in 2021. I'm like, God damn. So I drew inspiration from that myself. So and then I congratulated, and then obviously when this moment happens for me, him, and obviously in his family, because I'm good with, Nandi and everyone else out there in the household. Shout out to the Madida family. You know, they reached out and then, they also like congratulated because, they know that I also, like showed love last year when that moment was happening for the homie.
When someone else is winning, celebrate them. Your time to come.
Yeah. That. See, that's the thing, like about our culture, like, and black people. Like, let me just talk about black people. We get too caught up in the fact that if Tito has a cracking ass fucking podcast, now I need to like just mean mug the fact that like my shit is not popping. You know what I mean? Like now I need to feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Whereas
it is misery loves company, man.
You feel me? Whereas if I embrace the shit, because that allows for me now to learn the magic behind the shit that Tito's doing. Then I know how to what to pull from that, so that when my time comes, Tito's also, behind my shit too. I'm like, yo, new podcast in the block. Check these niggas out. You know what I mean? Because that's just how this shit is supposed to be. Definitely. I mean, as much as I might have not heard fully Lemonade as it was like, it was dropping.
Yeah.
But I was fully behind that record, you know what I mean? The tweets, XYZ, you know what I mean? Even to this day, because when you feel me? Because when I see my nigga winning, and because I'm seeing, I mean, he might say what he says out there, it's part of the competitive spirit.
What is he saying out there?
I mean, he's my nigga.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we want to know, what is he saying?
He was saying shit like, yo, so this record, you know what I mean, is making my life, total misery, boom, 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 boom. I hate this fucking song. You know what I mean? But like, he's on the campaign for his record. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate him. So, we feed off each other, and I feed off watching him win, and I know he feeds off watching me win. So that's just the culture that we need to start brewing amongst ourselves, as black people, to congratulate more and hate less. You feel me?
Definitely. Black people, we need to get our, how do I even say this? Our mentality is right, because even just not to bring back this thing again, the same thing, but I saw how much engagement that Saint Lounge thing got, and I was like, oh, because they're exposing people for not paying bills, this thing's getting so much traction. It's like black people, we love to see other people doing bad. Like, I don't know, some way, somehow, it brings joy. You know what I'm saying? If you want to see black people united, when someone is being brought down, watch black people be all together.
Yeah. Crabs in a barrel, big dog, because, for us, you know what I hate about the nigger culture, the darky culture is when someone else is winning, we are quick to say, all right, cool, we disown him. Like, I'm watching, bro, I'm watching how these niggas have sort of kind of disowned Black Coffee and Trevor Noah. I'm not talking about fuck Trevor Noah type shit or fuck Black Coffee type shit, but I'm talking about they're not sitting there and tweeting their lives away about those niggas.
Previously on the L-TIDO Podcast.
If you are an artist who's trying to participate in the commercial space and you think you need to be genre specific, my nigga, you're just gonna cater to your fans. Because the way to compete these days is for you to look at Black Coffee as your competition. Nigga, even fucking Drake, because when the song comes out, when your record comes out on a Friday, and Drake has a record out, you're not touching that number one spot. Why? Because as far as the South African chart is concerned, that nigga's gonna be number one. So what do you do as a man, as a competitor? You put yourself in the best position to compete with a record like that. Like, for us to move a record like Last, my nigga, to move that bitch off number one, that's crazy. That's crazy. Do you understand me? So this is all this shit is about. The fact that you're in South Africa doesn't mean that your competition is KO or is Tito or is AKA. No! Nigga, the world! Dang!
We got Double HP, Bosso, Man. Okay? We got Pro Kid, Bamba. Like I said before, we're talking about songs.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and bear in mind, for everyone that's watching, all these songs that I'm mentioning are classics. This is a classic discussion we're having. Pro Kid, Bamba, Double HP, Bosso. Which side are you leaning on?
I can't even beat around the bush, big dog. Like, I am Pro Kid's son with this shit. I wouldn't be the nigga that I am if I hadn't heard that nigga. You see, the same way we feel about like Big L, like, oh shit, this is the nigga I want to be like. This is how I want to rap. Locally, that nigga is the blueprint. So, of course, like Bamba, come on, big dog.
I couldn't agree with you more.
You know what I mean? Like, RIP to both homies. They're both big dogs, but for like a rapper,
Pro brought like the elements of, like, he literally took hip hop, how it sounded in terms of like the elements of hip hop. I heard other people do Vanek, but they were not using like the syllables, the doubles, the punchlines, the rhyme schemes. He brought that into Vanek rap. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep it moving. Let's hit you with another classics. Casper verse, Dog Shit Beleza. Verse, aka All Eyes on Me.
You had to go there.
Yeah, like we talking about classics.
I'd say maybe sonically, like something that was well put together and just musically. I think All Eyes on Me was it probably even aged a lot better than Dog Shit Beleza, right? But Dog Shit Beleza is that nigga's magnum opus. So like,
Definitely live. It was crazy live.
Come on,
yeah.
dog. Like,
yeah.
that is the game stopped.
Yeah.
Because of that record. Game stopped obviously because of Cara Cara. Game stopped because of All Eyes on Me and
Okay, before you talk about the other classics, let's get to Cara Cara. That's obviously a classic, so we gotta bring it up. Cara Cara by KO, you might know the guy. You know, versus Quest Angut.
I mean, obviously, yes, there's a bias, you know. But nah, actually, Cara Cara.
Talk your shit.
No, I have to also just
talk your shit. Yeah.
I have to think about it. Besides just the bias. I think Cara Cara versus Ngudu. Cara Cara probably even to this day. That's
to this day. Yeah.
It was crazy. It aged really well, and I think Ngudu hits the way that it hits because Cara Cara created the foundation.
I hear you.
So but like that's a monster. Even Spirit,
bro,
monsters.
Every song, that's what I'm saying. We talking about classics. You know, let's bring it a little bit closer, like new age classics. Let's say Nasty C, Juice Bag versus MT, Roll Up.
I think for me, just in terms of relatability and just soul, because you know what I mean, that's where we come from, like as South African. To me, the energy on Juice Bag was dope, but I can sort of kind of recite the MP joint word for word because it was just a lot more easier to get into, you know, and then you were not blindsided by also like just the niggas raps, you know, because with Nasty, you're picking up the finesse, the wordsmith, and also it's a rabbit hole with him, you know, and that's all great and all. It's almost like a Drake it's almost like a Kendrick and a Drake type of record, you know what I mean? Where Drake will just give you the, hey, let's pass, and you just vibe without thinking too much. And then you get Kendrick, who's gonna go too crazy with it, and then you're like, oh, this thing is a monster, and then the record goes as well. But, you know, you most likely to remember more of shit that Dreezy said because it was a lot simpler, you know, so I kind of lean towards the MT record just based on just those two fundamentals, but both those records are
both those records are tough. It could have went either way. Shout out to everybody that put out these.
Not slowing down any minute. As you can hear, my album is packed with like gang singles. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm on your niggas' head top.
Yes, sir. We out.
It's crazy. So niggas is podcasters now, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm a podcaster.
the evolution of Tito.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
People recognize that. Yo, come out here, boy.